Hi, it's Ruben Taylor from Visnostics here, and super excited to be talking to Ben Chambers from Hoseright. He's going to share a little bit more about his journey that he went on with us. So, Ben, let's kick things off. Tell us a bit about who you are, what you do.
Thanks, Rube. My name's Ben Chambers, as you said. We own a couple of businesses in Perth, Western Australia. The main one that I'm involved in is hydraulic hoses. We've got 7 vehicles, nearly 8, that go out to mine sites and repair hydraulic hoses and yeah.
So I want you to wind the clock back a little bit and think back when you first came across us or you first reached out to us. What problems were you facing? What were you trying to achieve? What was life like back then?
It was 2012, and at that point in time, I was a very hard worker, but had no idea of what I was doing in regards to business savviness, I suppose. I just was doing it through brute force.
Yes.
So at the time, Jane, my wife, my beautiful wife, could see the struggle I was having in regards to the business side of things. Like I could physically do the job. I was an artist. I was the perfect artist. I could go and do the job perfectly and passionately, and I knew exactly what to do in regards to product side of things. But the business element of things was a real struggle. So Jane could see that, and she got in contact with Ruben Gav and got you guys in. So the struggle at the time was me being a know-it-all, I suppose, and actually not knowing business. I didn't know leverage. I didn't know my numbers. I didn't know what a P&L on the balance sheet was for. I just knew that I had to go and make a widget and sell a widget, and that was pretty much it.
What was the impact back then on yourself and your family with you doing business the way you were doing it?
It was draining. Like Jane and I, at the time, we had 3 kids. We've now got 5, but it was draining on us as business owners and parents. You know, we're doing 80 hours a week or 90 hours a week and hard hours, like really hard hours. So, yeah, it was super draining stressful on the business. Jane and I were grumpy at each other. We were, grumpy at the kids because we're both in the business. So we're both working in the business as well as on the business at various times. But yeah, it was stressful on us as a family unit. And yeah, I didn't realize how much of an impact inside the business created outside of the business in the home environment.
So what were the key parts of the program that had the biggest impact on your business and becoming that business owner like you just described?
Accountability, just the knowledge, the basic fundamental knowledge of what a business owner, you don't get taught that stuff in school. So planning, people skills, accountability would be the big one. I think accountability from you, like we got you in to keep us accountable, because as business owners, we tend to think that we're at the top and we know it all.
Yeah.
So it's not until I started having interactions with yourself and Gavin that I realized how little I knew about business. I couldn't see the blind spots as such.
Yeah.
And it's not until you're looking at it from that outside point of view, you're like, oh, what's going on here? Why are you doing that? Oh, because blah, blah, blah. Well, have you thought about this, and this? Oh, no, I didn't think about that. And then it's not until you guys put it into a way that I got it that I started to think, oh my God, just putting prices up. I remember specifically you guys explaining to me, if you put your price up 10%, you've got to lose 30% or 20%, whatever it was, of your client base to even get back to where you were. I thought, oh my God, when I put my prices up, I'm going to lose all my clients. And it wasn't until I watched that video a couple of times that I thought, it's physically impossible for me to lose that many clients if I put my prices up 10%. And so you got me to put my prices up 10%, and no one even questioned, like not one person questioned it. And just things like that. It was just an amazing insight into business. So rather than having the confidence as well to have someone in your corner, that's
Yep.
another thing. You know, I understand 100%. I'm the one in there doing the push-ups and the sit-ups and the pull-ups and all that sort of stuff. But just have someone from the outside in egging you on and knowing business as such, saying like, no more push-ups. You need to do some crunches or whatever. The arms are too big. We need legs. So that was good as well to have you guys in the corner with a really wide variety of knowledge that I could just draw on, and that was good. And you've constantly done that, constantly stretched me, pushed me out of my comfort zone.
Yep.
So yeah, that was amazing.
Great, thank you for that. So let's share a bit more about what are some of the results you achieved. So really, what's life like now compared to what it was?
If you said to me in 8 or 9 years' time, this is where you're going to be, I would have said, whatever you're on, you need to get off it, and this is not really doing you any good. So, where we are now is phenomenal, and it's amazing. I think we started when when you started coaching me. I think I had this is 9 years ago now, so it is hard to go back, but I think I had 3 or 4 staff. I think.
Yep.
And there was about 25 or 30 in the daycare centre, 25.
Yep.
So currently we've got about 110 staff within the businesses, and the turnover, well, I can't even begin to tell you in regards to turnover. I think when we first started with you, if I remember correctly, going back to that, I think we're on about $30,000 a month turnover.
Yep, sounds right.
And last month, last month we cracked 500 grand turnover. Wow. And I say this, and I don't say this like I come from a place of encouragement, or how can I say this? I hate it when people say those sorts of things with the wrong intention. So I just want to get clear. People need to get that it's $25,000 to $500,000, and I say that so that you guys can get it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. You just got to trust the process and put the work in. When the coach says no more push-ups, we need to do some crunches, get crunching. So, and not only that, Rube, another thing I want to bring up is I used to call you our marriage counselor. We used to always laugh about how it was my business coach / marriage counselor, because we used to have to work through as a couple that owned a business. When you're in and out of the business and life is constantly beside each other, and you come up against these things. That's just what it is. So, and Ruben was always a good sounding board for both Jane and I to get information off and see things from that dynamic as well. As a couple owning a business, it was good to be able to vent to someone, a neutral person that didn't take sides or didn't make anyone wrong. It was just about, okay, what can we do to progress this in a positive way? So that was, now looking back on it now, I used to say at the time, I used to say when you first started doing that, how grateful I was, but now I'm really, truly, deeply, deeply grateful for that.
Thank you. And what does your time look like now?
So my time has gone through these sorts of waves. So when you first started coaching me, the business, I was still doing 90 hours a week, like 80 hours a week, some stupid hours, and we first put effort on the income and the turnover and tweaking the business things, and I was still doing those sorts of hours in the business. And then after a few years of doing that, I think my focus and through the guidance of you, we backed off that. That was the focus that we put on it, and it was to back off my time in the business. So that's where your focus, your information came, and I empowered the team to take over the tasks that I was doing.
Yep.
And we spent probably 12 months or 2 years or whatever doing that. And then my time, it got down to bugger all. Like, it used to be a joke. If I'd go on holidays, everyone used to joke about it, because the amount of time that I took off was pretty crazy. I might have, I don't know, I don't even know. I got down, I reckon I would have got down to 20, 15 hours a week at some point.
Yep.
In the business, and I think that might have looked like 45 hours one week and then nothing for 3 weeks. But then with that came a little bit of guidance again, that hey, you got to get back on the reins.
Yes.
So I think it's it goes up now. Now I'm doing a lot more hours in the business, but I'm spending all of my time on the business. I very rarely, I can't even remember the last time I made a hose. Yep. And go out there and do the actual stuff. I've got the team does that, and I'm 100% working on the business. At the moment, I could do 0 if I wanted to, 100%. Yeah.
It's the important thing is you've got the choice now of what you do with your time. Would that be fair to say?
And that's the difference. Like, at the moment, I don't need to be here because the guys that are here are an amazing team, and I can go away and 100% know that they're going to do the right thing by the business and us. But I want to be here because there's a difference. If I wanted to work 20 hours a week, I can work 20 hours a week. If I want to take the kids to school in the morning, I take the kids to school in the morning, pick them up. I can do what I want.
Right. So finish this sentence off. I nearly didn't start coaching because
I knew everything that needed to be known about it at the time, and my wife just didn't know that I knew everything about it at the time. That'd be the only reason why I nearly didn't start coaching, because, man, when you start out as a business, I think 9 out of 10 people start business because they think they know it all and they can do it better than everyone else. I think that's just the natural progression. So yeah, if there was anything in it, it was just because I was a know-it-all little business owner that just asked me.
So what's been your favorite part about working with us?
Authenticity. Like, both you and Gavin know that, I can tell anyway. I can tell how authentic you guys are, and that's a really big important thing to me. I've met other people that are for the wrong reasons, I suppose. So that's a big positive. And the community has been amazing, because when you're up and humans have their ups and downs times. That's just the fact of the matter. Like, when you're at the top, it's stressful. So to be able to bunch up with a whole other mob of like-minded people and get support, that's an amazing add value that I really got a lot out of.
Fantastic. So who would you recommend business coaching to, and why?
Who would I recommend business coaching to? Everyone. Because probably a couple of years ago, probably a year ago, I actually thought about quitting business coaching, and then it wasn't until I just sat there and reflected on it for a little while that I thought, no way. Like, I don't care how big. Like, yeah, it's always good to have someone in your corner that can see things from a different point of view, like look at your blind spots. So anyone that, I wish now I had done it 10 years before.
Well, thank you so much, Ben, today, for sharing what you've achieved. You and Jane have just done some phenomenal things, and I know that's had impacted your family and your team and all those around you. So well done, and I look forward to seeing what's coming next.
All right. Thanks, Drew.